Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Kevin, it's great to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
You've
Enjoy
been
being
keeping
here.
well,
Enjoy
I'm
being
sure.
here. What's that?
Oh, yeah. You've been keeping well, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, things are going well. Staying busy, staying out of trouble, so that's a good thing.
That's good. Well, we were just chatting off camera before we hopped on that I was down, 45 minutes away from you there yesterday. I just flew back from Texas. So I
Yeah,
almost just should
man.
have stayed down for an extra 24 hours and we could have run this together in person.
Absolutely. That'd have been fun. We could have grabbed some barbecue and hung out a little bit.
Oh, dude, now you're speaking my language. Canadian barbecue is nothing like Texas barbecue. So it's man, I that is always on the priority list when I'm down in Texas there.
Yeah, we got some good places around here, that's for sure.
Awesome.
A lot of specialty places putting out some good food.
Nice. Well, we got people joining us. Welcome everybody. Great to see everybody hopping on here. This is an integration that we've been really excited about for a long time. And really the big reason on that is this is our best CRM integration that we've done to date. The amount of data that we're pulling into SumoQuote and that we're putting back into RoofLink, like this is hands down our most robust integration that we've been able to build. So Kevin, really excited to be partnering with you and your team on this.
Oh, we're excited as well. We think the combination between RoofLink and SumoQuote is going to take us to the next level, and we're just excited to see what happens with it.
Absolutely. Well, hey, before we get going here, let's get this chat going. Would love to hear what are people using right now? Are people using SumoQuote? Are you using RoofLink? Are you using both? Are you using neither one yet? And in which case, you're going to learn a whole lot on this one. But Brandon's using both, which is awesome. Brandon, hopefully you're starting to get that integrated. If not, the RoofLink team is probably going to be the better team just because the integration is going to happen from the RoofLink side and getting it going there. Liz is using both RoofLink, lots of RoofLink customers on here, which is awesome. Chris has already been using the integration, loves it, which is great. Man, this is just started. Tyler just started with SumoQuote yesterday. Love it.
Awesome. Awesome.
And Chris is just switching. It's perfect. So great to have the audience here already using the tools quite a bit. For people that, what you're going to get here in the presentation, just to sort of cue up expectations a bit, Kevin and I are going to walk through a little bit on, we're going to talk about customer experience a little bit, because customer experience is a massive reason why we were both interested in integrating so that we could help our contractors really set their customer experience apart and scale their business. So we're going to take maybe 5-6 minutes and just kind of talk about that, because that is really at the core of what we're about and why we value this stuff so much. From there, we're going to show you a couple of samples in SumoQuote, so that people that are using RoofLink and haven't necessarily seen SumoQuote yet can see the output on that. And then we're going to dive into the demo. We're going to show you RoofLink, a handful of the amazing features that they've got there. And then once we've built that out a bit, we're going to show you, we'll hit a button, everything's going to push into SumoQuote, build everything in a second, and we're going to get that thing signed and watch it all push right back into RoofLink again. And we'll take some questions at the end. So Kevin, I think that's the game plan we were talking about. You ready to dive into this thing
I'm
here?
ready to do this, man. I got to tell you, the first time I watched this actually work and happen, I got pretty excited. This is a really cool, integration we've built, and I'm excited to show everybody what we've done.
Yeah, absolutely. And this has been both teams working hard on this together. But before we kind of dive in and get going, just quickly, myself, I'm Ryan. I'm the CEO of SumoQuote. I also, my partners and I also own a handful of roofing businesses out there. It all started with Epic Roofing Exteriors, which is a large roofing company up in Canada here. Between our roofing businesses, we're about 170 employees or so. So we've been pretty fortunate to grow those companies. A lot of retail experience, a lot of insurance experience, and just a lot of years that I ran the sales team over at Epic Roofing there. So that was kind of where a lot of getting SumoQuote built out so that we could help improve sales came from. Kevin, give us a little bit on yourself and your history leading into this.
Yeah, my name's Kevin. I'm VP of Sales, and I'm one of the managing partners here at RoofLink. Been with the company since it started, and it's been wildfire ever since we launched this thing. I mean, it's really helped us prove the concept how popular it's become and how much everybody likes the program that we've put out there. So it makes sales easy for me. I just show them what we built, and they act like I created fire, and I get to pat myself on the back a little bit for being a great salesman when really RoofLink's doing all the work. So enjoy
Yeah.
that. Outside of that, I'm in Austin, Texas, got a great family, wife, 2 grown kids, and really enjoy being out on the lake and just loving life, man.
Nice, man. That's awesome. Give me really quickly, for people using SumoQuote that haven't started using RoofLink yet, what helps RoofLink stand out from other CRMs out there?
So RoofLink has put all the tools together you need to run your business into one place. We've done so you can have all the information you need, so you can run very effective reporting and make sure that all the numbers making sense for you. And because we've got everything in one place, we can automate more of the process than anybody else can, and really help you dial in and become efficient and run your business very, very simplified and streamlined. We're really, really good about helping get your process management in place so that you can scale your revenue and keep your overhead really, really low as you do all this. The one place we were a little bit weak was on our presentation side. And so that's what makes this make so much sense for us. We didn't really have a great, good, better, best option, and we didn't have any optional upgrades. And so this integration is not only is it solving that, but we're bringing in the gold standard in presentation to help fix that. So we're really excited.
Yeah, thanks, man. And likewise, of course, right? So SumoQuote, we're going to help you up your presentation, your quoting game. We're going to make it incredibly fast for you. A couple of stats on SumoQuote. The average quote that went out last year came back with almost $2,100 worth of upgrades signed in it.
Wow.
So imagine making it easy for homeowners, for them to be able to see the additional optional upgrades that they might want to consider, have it be a natural part of the conversation, and homeowners are just checking boxes, adding more revenue, which is incredible. We help your close rates go up. Obviously, it looks amazing. Works phenomenal for retail and insurance. And the other really exciting one is solar. We've got a solar tool now, which is the only tool in the market to seamlessly blend a pure roofing quote with a pure solar quote, put those together. So some really fun stuff that we've got out in the market these days.
It's exciting times.
But absolutely. Kevin, let's keep going here. A couple of quick stats as we go. This was one that I pulled out last year. Really loved this one. There was a group of Fortune 100 executives, all the big companies out there. They were interviewed to talk about, what were you going to focus your business on? How are you going to strategically look to keep growing your business and differentiating it? Top 3 answers are on the screen here, right? Pricing came in at number 3. Now, I got to be honest with you, as a roofing contractor myself, trying to compete on price isn't the most exciting thing for me, right? It just feels like a race to the bottom, and I need to generate good profits so that I can stay in business, so that I can offer a great warranty and make sure that I'm exceptional for my homeowners. So pricing isn't really exciting for me to compete on. Product is really difficult to compete on because everybody basically has access to all the same product. Customer experience, that was the thing that, as a roofing company, why we ended up inventing this thing called SumoQuote. It was really to dial in this customer experience, and it had a massive effect on our business. And likewise, that's why I think it's so interesting that this is what the biggest businesses out there are doing, so that they're not just trying to compete on price. If you're putting the same looking quote in front of the homeowner and you're assuming your salesperson is moderately competent or equally competent to other salespeople out there, you've really got to give the homeowners something different to have them pick you. So that's why, customer experience is such an interesting one. A couple of facts to back that one up as well. 86% of buyers are more willing to pay for a great customer experience. They're willing to give you more money. This is what the numbers show, right? 81% of organizations already cite it as a competitive differentiator. But I mean, let's be honest. When you think about your competitors out there, I'm sure 81% of them don't highlight it as a competitive differentiator because they're not really providing a great customer experience or anything different. So it really is a massive opportunity for you to stand out with this. The management consulting company that did this, they said the companies that focus on this can expect to earn 70% more on average within 3 years, which is
Wow.
mind-blowing how much this can grow your business at the end of the day.
That's incredible.
And then it's incredible, right? Like for you and I that come from sales here as well, like that is an incredible number to think when you really invest in customer experience, how much of an impact that can have on the revenues on your business at the end of the day. That last one there, 49% of buyers, they're willing to make impulse purchases, right? That whole stat on an additional almost $2,100 of revenue being offered with upgrades and people willing to sign off on it on the spot. Kevin, I got a great story that I love sharing. This was when we had the prototype for SumoQuote, when it was just a single quote and you couldn't do the better best. What we would do is in our upgrades, we would say, hey, it would be this much more for a class 3 shingle, this much more for class 4 shingle, this much for high profile ridge cap and ridge venting. And we had this one homeowner, we sent the quote to him, came back, all of the upgrades were checked off. And we had to go back to the homeowner and say, hey, you checked all these off, but I'm sorry, we're not going to install a class 3 shingle and a class 4 shingle on your roof. You were just supposed to pick one of those. And he was just like, I'm sorry. I just wanted a really good roof, so I just checked everything off. Like the amount of money you are leaving on the table if you don't have this really natural, easy way to offer upgrades, it is unbelievable how much more you can grow your revenue just off of something like that. So, Kevin,
I'm surprised you didn't figure out how to sell him both.
Oh, yeah. Well, we gotta sell his rental property to him as well then, as we go through, right? Get another building. When I'm talking about customer experience here, I just want to make sure, like, customer experience, it's not just the buying experience or the sales experience. It's very much that entire thing, right? Right from awareness through the sales experience, through production, you've got to create this really incredible experience the whole way through. Kevin, with ROOFLINK, give me an idea of how ROOFLINK can help contribute to a customer experience sort of with this as well.
Yeah, we've got a ton of ways. One of the things is keeping your customers informed and making sure that they have the information when it's readily available to them. And so we've got automated text message and automated emails all the way through both sides of our workflows. So not only do we automate the workflow process, so there doesn't have to be a person in your office that sits around looking at a whiteboard or a spreadsheet or something like that, pushing the job through manually. All that's happening automatically, but we're automatically also informing the customer at any stage that you want that done, so they know exactly what to expect at all times as this project is happening. So that's two of the biggies.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And that's where, like, just again, so reframing it so that as we're thinking about this, like this concept of a customer experience, this isn't just a sales thing. Like this is really needs to permeate through your entire organization and through your tech stack. So again, that's why SumoQuote and ROOFLINK together, it really is that powerful customer experience tool to help you guys with
Absolutely. This. Just one more point on that. It's really great for the business owner because he can control the message, even if he's not the sales rep in particular. He can set those automations and what's going to be said. So he gets to control the message and know that every single customer that comes in contact with his business is hearing his words and what he wants portrayed to them. So you're not worried about somebody who's had a couple drinks at the bar sending out a message that he doesn't approve of. He gets to control that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and just to kind of finish hammering it home for all of us here before we jump into the demo, like I love this quote: customer experience is the next competitive battleground. It's where business is going to be won or lost. Like if you want to have a business that is focused on growth and going to the next level, as opposed to just kind of remaining comfortable, a little stagnant, and kind of slowly losing or shrinking over time, you really need to think about customer experience and be intentional with it. So yeah, I mean, with that, let's dive into a demo here. So I think this is the big part why everybody's with us here today. I'm going to log into my ROOFLINK account. unable to. Kevin, what's going on here? I'm going to hit a forgot password because I probably forgot my password. So, hang tight, and we will be nailing this down in a second here, you guys. Okay, I am resetting my password in ROOFLINK. And submit. There we go. So let me jump up here again. What I love about ROOFLINK is the security.
We do have some good security features, that's for sure.
For sure. Okay.
And now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking. So I'm going to create a new lead. And let me go with my buddy Ron Swanson. I am going to hit an address here and submit. So I am ready to go with this thing. Okay, so there's a handful of things here. So as a contractor myself, one of the big things I love is that the roof drawing is right in here. So this is a feature that SumoQuote doesn't have, but those measurements are so critical to building out a quote. So I'm going to come back to that in a second. Where I'm going to start is I'm going to start with my photos. And all I'm going to do, I can have it synced with Company Cam, but all I'm going to do here is I'm going to drop in a handful of photos from this project just to get this uploaded. So ROOFLINK integrates with Company Cam, grab all your photos there. I know hugely popular, SumoQuote does as well, or just drop the photos in there and you're good to go. Now,
we do have an inspection feature as well. And so you can customize your own inspection reports. And we've actually got one built for SumoQuote in there already. And so if you're wanting to, just use this photos feature and try to limit how many integrations you have, this is a great way to do that. These inspection reports are really, really slick, especially from the mobile app.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you guys have been working hard on your mobile app, I know. So
the mobile app is really, really cool. It has turned out greater than we possibly imagined it was going to. So, our customers can literally show up with their cell phone and a ladder and walk away with a signed SumoQuote contract without ever leaving this person's driveway.
Nice.
So we're excited about that.
Well, yeah. So what I'm doing here is I'm just creating an inspection. So, and this is what you're going to do in order for photos to pull directly into SumoQuote, because the concept in SumoQuote is typically with a homeowner, you're not going to walk through 80 photos. There's going to be 3, 4, or 5 sort of really key photos that you want to talk to the homeowner about as a part of your sales presentation to point out specific things that you're going to correct or high risk areas and stuff like that. And so when I go in here and I've created this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to tag some of these photos. So these photos where I want to talk to the homeowner about some specific things on their property, I'm going to go through, I'm going to tag these ones into my SumoQuote inspection. So once I've done that, that's what's going to pull and trigger and create this inspection page in SumoQuote. So we've got our photos in here. We've got our inspection all taken care of. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through quickly on this measurement side of this. So again, I love how easy this is in ROOFLINK. So I'm going to start this off. I'm going to go through and I'm going to label this stuff as I go, but I'm going to get all my my measurements for this property punched in here. Okay, so my eaves, my rakes, and then after I get all my eaves and my rakes with this stuff, then I'm going to go back to just label my my valleys and my ridge and stuff like that in here as well. So I am almost done with this, and the last one is an eave. There we go. So we've got our building here. Now, if I'm
Got
going on this roof, I want to walk on a 412. But
you're a man after my own heart. That's how I feel about it.
Absolutely. Let's label up our ridges here as well quickly. So we've got our ridge there. We've got our ridge here. And we're going to get our valleys on here as well. And by the way, for everybody watching that that's using SumoQuote right now and isn't using RoofLink yet, this is all self-taught by me. I didn't get any training from RoofLink. I just came in here. It is super user-friendly and easy to use. And at the end of the day here, I've got, and this is great. What I love with this as well, Kevin, is I've run through this property probably 3 or 4 times. I always get 16.6 square here, right? Like
Good.
How these measurements all work, it's very consistent for the accuracy in me going through this.
It is incredibly accurate, yes.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. Like really, in building out a quote in SumoQuote, you're going to need your measurements, you're going to need your photos, you're going to need your homeowner information, and then from there, we're really going to be able to build that quote. So when I go to my overview here, now I see this create from SumoQuote. So because I've got my integration turned on, which again I did for my RoofLink side here, I'm going to go create from SumoQuote. And the perfect thing is here, it asks for all the data to build this out, right? So I need a cover image. And then it knows that it wants to put in inspection photos. So it's pulling in the inspection photos, and it knows it wants to pull in a design. So it's pulling in my drawing. So I'm going to submit that. And then everything is synced over to SumoQuote. So as I go down here, I can see that this is getting synced up. But let me go over to SumoQuote here. I'm going to refresh this, and you can see Ron Swanson is right here, #1. So it was assigned to myself as the salesperson in RoofLink. It assigned it to me in SumoQuote. And when I come in here, you can see my quote is already built as well. We don't have, again, this is something we don't have with any other CRM, where it will build your entire quote for you when you are going in there. If I go up here, so here you can see I am integrated with RoofLink. I go to my measurements. It's telling me that I've pulled in my RoofLink measurements, and I've got my tokens here. So it's pulled in all the measurements from this. I might have some roofing accessories that I want to add. So maybe it's my vents or my goosenecks or pipe jacks or whatever it is. So, but all of this stuff, you just punch in. This is all customizable, by the way, however you want to set it up for your team. So I'm going to go back here. Now, when I go in here, I've got this all built out, right? So it automatically turned on all my pages, automatically applied this. I'm going to go to my inspection page here. I might say maybe I've got some pre-existing hail damage on the gutters or the downspouts that I want to show. You know, there's some hail damage on this one as well. We can mark these photos up in here. So we can add photos, mark them up, do all that stuff. I'm going to drop this down here. But at the end of the day, like if I go review and share on this, so I haven't touched the quote details page. I haven't touched any of the calculations, but I come in here. I've got my introduction. Hi, Ron, the homeowner, right? Kind regards from myself as the salesperson. We've got really great marketing pages we can put in here. You can see there's a link if I clicked on this to be able to go to this roof visualizer in here as well. SumoQuote, we actually have a library of about 60 pre-built marketing pages. So our referral program page is one of them. You can go in and just add your branding in there and customize your colors and such and build stuff like that in. We've got all our inspection photos in that we tagged, and we've calculated this quote, good, better, best, and we're ready to go here. Right? So as you're going through, here's the different packages that we're offering. Here's the upgrades that we're offering. Here's our colors. You can do your full presentation to the homeowner right here and go through this stuff, which is really incredible. Now, I want to be able to sign this, but before I do that, I want to show you a couple of quick things in here. On the quote details page, we've got our good, better, best. You can see here This brought in all our quantities, but if I poke into this one, you can see there's an actual calculation here. So this is going to be just like Excel. And again, the team at SumoQuote can help set all this stuff up for you. But really what we're pulling in is we're pulling in the roof area measurements from ROOFLINK along with the suggested waste that we put in ROOFLINK. And we're calculating how many bundles we need here. So this is all automated with your material pricing and everything else. So this stuff just flows in. And this is a pretty small job with it, right? 48 bundles for this job. But if I wanted to go through, I can go add custom page. And I'm going to go to my company marketing. And let's say the homeowner's trying to figure out how our company is different from other companies. Well, I've got this great. I'll show you this page here. And again, this is another one of these pages that we've built for you that you can just customize the text in it and add your branding and stuff. But as we go through and we're presenting to the homeowner and we want to show, hey, this is why we're different. We've been in business for over 10 years. How is your typical contractor? How long have they been in business for, right? We've done over 10,000 projects. We've got a full-time safety officer. We had originally built this for our roofing company here because we had a full-time safety officer. Now, do you have to have a full-time safety officer to be safe? No, but we were large enough that we had to have one. So we wanted to use it as a competitive advantage with homeowners, with the conversations we were having out there. So here, look, I can take this, I can drag and drop it up here. I can turn off the referrals page. It is very fast and easy to go through this stuff.
That's really cool, Ryan. It's cool that you guys provide that as templates.
Yeah. And it is, if any of our current users have questions about those marketing pages, go to your name here in SumoQuote, go to tutorials and support. Within the support area under our custom pages is where you can find all those, or just reach out to our team. Our team would be happy to send you the link directly so that you've got that. And you can find contact for our team in there as well. But I'm going to go review and share. Now we can go send for signing, right? And we can have different email templates sent up here. So we can get this all sent to the homeowner and emailed away so that they can sign it digitally on their own, or we can present it here like I had showed you before. And then once we've figured out what package they want to go with, we can just hit sign now. This is great if you are doing insurance, if you've got an iPad, if you're in the home with the homeowner and you wanted them just to be able to sign with their finger and go through with that stuff. But here, I'm going to select the good, but I'm going to add on high profile ridge cap and ridge venting as I'm signing this. Onyx black, I'm going to put in for my color here. If this was insurance and it was metal, I always tell homeowners just to write in match existing, because then the pressure is on us to make sure we got a good color match on that. And I'm going to go save and sign on this. Now, again, if I'm on the iPad, I'll probably have them squiggle their signature on here and check this stuff off to sign this quote. So if you email it to them, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to be able to see visually the quote and go through everything, and then just hit a button that says next, and then they'll be able to go through, select their good, better, best, and do everything there. So we have successfully signed this. Because we've signed this, a copy has gone to the homeowner, so they've automatically got a copy of it. A copy has gone to the salesperson, so they were emailed to be alerted that this quote has been signed. But here's where the magic with ROOFLINK comes in. And I'm just going to refresh this to make sure that we've got this thing. But now you can see a couple of things here. I scroll down, sign contract. So within our checklist, we can see that this has been completed now, and all of the data has pulled in here. So we've got an overview of the signed contract, of the value of it, of the costs on it and profits and everything else. Now, if I click over just a little bit here, the estimate, this is what I love here as well. We've pulled in every line item in here, all the quantities, all the unit pricing, the gross profit on this. Everything's been tagged by the trade. So everything comes in like on the ROOFLINK side, everything that you know and love there in wanting to have it customized by trade, all of your quantities, everything accurate, so you can just push it into work orders and stuff and keep going from here. Everything works exactly how you would want it to. So we've tried to think through all of those details to make this as seamless as possible for you. Kevin, I want to hand it over to you in 1 second here, but I actually want to show one other thing really quickly. So Kevin, as you're queuing it up to jump in here to show a few additional features with RoofLink,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to take people through the concept of an insurance quote in SumoQuote, because insurances can be very different than retail. Here's an insurance contract in SumoQuote. Now, we as a roofing company up in Canada here, we were fortunate to get a couple of big hailstorms in 2020 and 2021. In 2021, we had 2 of our salespeople each sell over $8 million of insurance work using Xactivate and SumoQuote. And so the process that we had in place was incredibly efficient and worked incredibly well and sold a ton of work. And I wanted to share quickly, here is how SumoQuote can be structured for signing those insurance deals. So you're going to have slightly different text in how you've put this together here, right? You're probably going to be highlighting a referral program because you want all the neighbors work. You might be talking about the process, again, that customer experience so that the homeowner knows, here's the process for going through an insurance project with us, and everything's at their fingertips here. What I did on the insurance details page here, all I did is I said, we will complete repairs on your property as laid out in your insurance estimate. Your authorization will apply should the total value change as directed by your adjuster. Supplements, right? And I put in the RCV. We want to make this as easy for the homeowner to understand as possible. And I'll show you where Xactimate ties in with this and that RCV value. Okay, but as I go to the authorization page, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here, when they're signing upgrades, here's all the different upgrades. And again, on the insurance side, you will get a ton of people selecting upgrades, and it is easy revenue for you. But I also know in owning and running a roofing company as well, there's a lot of stuff that can slow down an insurance project that make it take a lot longer to get that cash that you want at the end, to get into your account receivables, right? So here's what we do with our salespeople. Credit for not completing line items 16, 17, and 21, negative $3,178. We take the painting, we take the garage door, we take some of that stuff where, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, we're not going to waive your deductible. That's actually illegal, and we don't function that way as a company. But we are willing to help you cover your deductible. And how we can help you cover it is with some of these upgrades. I saw that teenage center daughter of yours as I walked in. I'm pretty sure their arm can do this. And so the $1,200 of painting I got covered for you, it's $80 worth of paint. It's just a bunch of labor. So we can take that and start working it in. There's some really interesting ways in SumoQuote that you can have this single document be your entire conversation and contract and all this stuff. Again, being able to weave in these marketing pages, pick colors, all these custom initial and signature documents that you need, we can take care of all of that. And then it's as simple as just dragging and dropping into SumoQuote a copy of their Xactimate report. And then you see that $19,851 being in here, as well as a full scope of work. So it's a really interesting way to be able to help your insurance people crush those insurance sales, get fast signatures, sell upgrades, and negotiate off a bunch of that junk that you don't get good margins on with this stuff. So, Kevin, you properly queued up over there to keep taking us forward with RoofLink?
I believe so. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty on our end here, but I think we're good now. Let's see if we can jump in here and get this thing rolling.
Okay, man. Well, I'm going to stop sharing, and I will let it go over to your side. If we need to hop back over to me to demo the RoofLink side, you just let me know. But I'll let you share your screen from here, and we can keep rolling.
All right, sounds good. Let me give me just 1 second. I apologize.
No problem at all. Hey, let me take advantage. I'll do the 2-minute stall for you here, Kevin.
Perfect.
Because I've got something else really interesting that I can take people through. Solar. I'd mentioned solar at the beginning here. We have solar was very complex for us to build because you're taking a project-based price like roofing and you're trying to blend it with a cash flow-based conversation of utility, price analysis or what you're paying for utility costs in a month compared to typically it's monthly financing. And so let me take you through a roof and solar quote. And this is really cool, But the integration that we've got with the design side, with the Eagle View, and how you can use the design tool right in SumoQuote to build and do all this stuff is really incredible. And I can touch on that maybe more at the end with some questions and stuff. But SumoQuote, the pages, you toggle them on and off like I had showed you previously. We've got the marketing pages, the inspection, all this stuff that you would walk through with your roofing sales. Now, we've built out this marketing page because this is one, it's really the reasoning, the logic behind why homeowners get excited about solar, right? So increasing their property value, reducing or eliminating their energy bills, ultimately owning their electricity so that all the inflation that's been hammering people with their electricity bills, like that they can own that and protect themselves against that. Massive rebates from the government out there. So a 30% federal tax credit, protecting the environment, like all good, important reasons to be considering solar. This is one of our newly launched pages. With this brand new page in SumoQuote, we've got a couple others I'll show you, but we're basically pulling in the designs from your design tool. We're showing the homeowner's actual house and property as well as we do this stuff. And we're doing an analysis on that production and consumption. So, and then ultimately creating that offset. So there's a lot of data coming into this and mapping and graphing and everything else. So I want to be able to show you that. Then it gets into the conversation on this month-to-month comparison, right? So their electricity bill versus their solar and their monthly financing costs. One thing that we want to be transparent on, right here, it was this utility bill. It is not, there will be a fixed portion of the utility bill, and we didn't want to hide that and have homeowners think that we were, cheating or trying to polish things up and make it better than it was. So it becomes a very transparent, educational way of talking with them through this stuff. The big one here is this next line, is you can see as that inflation kicks in over 20 years, where their electricity bill is headed and how you're protecting them with that, right? Now, their ongoing fixed utility bill, we're adding that same escalation fee, that same inflation rate to it. So again, we're trying to be transparent and trustworthy with all of this. But after 25 years, they own their electricity, their system is paid off. And during this time, they've saved themselves over $20,000. We have integrations with utility companies, utility plans, pulling in their actual consumption data. Like, there's a lot of data coming into this, but it's very easy to use and very easy to present at the end of the day with this. We'll be able to help make it easy for you to walk them through talking about those government rebates, calculating and pulling that stuff in there. And I love this one as well. There's an ROI on just their home value. Homes are worth more if they've got solar on them. So we include a link and everything to that here. Again, we just want to make it as simple as possible for you to go through this and adopt solar sales as part of your roofing presentation, because when a new roof is going on, that's when solar should be talked about with the homeowner. That is the ideal time. Good, better, best. And Kevin, coming quickly over to you here, but good quote. Here's your quote, like I showed you before. Are better. You can see we pulled in a whole brand new solar section here, including pulling in the data from the solar design tool so that it's calculating what the solar is going to be. And I think one of the really interesting parts is this access to solar loans, because you can spread it out over more time. So here where you see your roof is $157 a month, when you're going over 10 years, when you take that solar, you add a significant, you're triple the revenue that you're pulling in from this, and you're really only increasing this monthly fee by about 50%, by about $70 in this case, and you're eliminating their electricity bill. Like, this is really interesting how this stuff can all be presented and shown in this. So anyways, Kevin, how are we doing? Ready to go there?
Cool. I'm ready to roll. Yes, sir. So I'm going to jump.
Man, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Hopefully that was a good cover for you.
That was perfect. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So we're going to kind of pick things up from the signing, right? So once our customers sign in SumoQuote, that's going to push back over to ROOFLINK. So I'm going to jump into one of these jobs here. So we got your whole prospects checklist here. One of the step marks on here is once you get that signed contract, your sales reps can submit this for approval. So what that's going to do is it's going to alert whoever in management manages these jobs and comes in here and takes a look at this to make sure that this job is clean. Once it gets approved, it's going to go from the sales side of things to the production side of things. So now we've got our insurance jobs checklist built out over here. You can see everything on here is time stamped and dated. So we build out all the dashboard widgets to coincide with every single step in this checklist. And so now everybody on staff knows when they're being tasked with their role that's happening for this particular job. So once it's approved and the first check is collected, now it's going to jump over to the permitting. And so whoever does that's going to come in, do the permitting part. The materials are going to get ordered, and everybody's going to know exactly when they're on deck to do their part, because it's going to alert them on their dashboard. So they always know where the job is, what needs to happen next. Nobody has to look at a spreadsheet or a whiteboard or try to figure out, who's on first, what's on second, what's happening with this thing. So what winds up happening is you become a very efficient company, because we're just firing on all cylinders. Everybody knows exactly when they're on deck. Everybody knows when they're up to do their part. You can have automated messaging throughout the whole thing. So as this is all happening, your customer can know exactly what's happening as well. So when this job closes, I can have an automatic text message that goes out to say thank you. I can have an automatic review request that goes out. We can even set up an automation that goes out 2 years after the fact that says, don't forget to schedule your reseal package or your maintenance package or something like that. So a ton of stuff we can do with that. And it just sets companies up to be as efficient as humanly possible. Some of the other features that are built in here, we've got a really great calendar. It's very robust. You can look at all kinds of things just as you're scheduling things throughout the day. Everything's going to push here. You can filter it by a bunch of different ways: team, region, supplier. Everything in here is hyperlinked, so I can go right into this job page if I need to. I can drag and drop to reschedule. We got a ton of stuff we can do with this calendar feature. All your mapping features are built in here as well. So weather mapping and sales mapping, it's all interactive. It's all part of the system. And so I can use this as my canvassing tool. As you can see, I got a bunch of dots up here. These are all my customers. Everything's color coordinated. So at a glance, I can look at this and see exactly what's going on with my customer base. I can also turn on the weather feature. So if we've had some storms, anything that's happening real time in your area, it's going to send you alerts to your phone, but you can look at historical weather data as well. So this will take care of all your weather mapping as well. So you can see here, we had some 1.75 inch hail on the 16th. So if I wanted to look at that a little closer, I could jump into this and look at the actual radar imagery. My technical difficulty was that my internet went down, so I'm working off of a hotspot right now. So it might be a little slow loading some of this stuff. But yeah, that radar's pulling in here now. So you can see, I can see exactly where this storm is hitting. And then we can actually come in. I can see, what houses are affected by this. I can make assignments for my guys. It's going to start pulling in that hail core here shortly. Yeah, there it goes. So I can come in here. I can see what houses are affected by this. I can come in here. I can make assignments for my team. So now my team knows exactly where we want them to be, and we can all hit the ground running after this thing. So, if I'm this Jake character here, I can get right into my area and I can start canvassing my houses. So from the mobile app, it's going to GPS locate you in front of these houses. All you have to do is click on the house. The homeowner's information automatically pops up. It's one-click lead creation to put them in the system. And so there's a really easy way to get your, from your map right into, your workflows and all of that good stuff. One-click lead creation. All this is customizable, so you can make this happen really, really quickly. And then once you get your customer entered into the system, now we're just running through, all the things you kind of talked about already, the front facing side, the sales side, doing our inspections, doing our roof measurement and all that. And, the cool thing about it is, if we're roofing this house and the neighbor comes out and is like, man, I have been meaning to get this done. Looks like you guys are doing a great job. Can you come give me an estimate for my house? We can walk over here right on the spot. We can do everything we need to do to close this deal. So I can walk over here, I can send them information about my company, I can do all my inspections, take my photos, I can measure the roof, I can send it over to SumoQuote, put together a killer presentation, get a signature, and I've one call closed with this customer before I've ever left their driveway. And so that's something we're really excited about. I think with SumoQuote presentations on our side now, this is something we're really going to be able to knock it out of the park.
Oh, dude, this is amazing with mapping and stuff. And by the way, I haven't seen all of this stuff. So like the calendar and the mapping and just like how much is built into it is really incredible. I love you're at the person's house, neighbor comes over and starts talking to you. Because one of the things in SumoQuote is we can help build that contingency agreement and have the homeowner sign it right there as well, but actually have you just snap a picture of their house, drop it in, and it instantly builds out a contingency agreement. That's a presentation as well.
Wow.
So all of a sudden with that homeowner, you've got this, 10, 12 page presentation that you can take them through with their house on the cover and get them to sign it on the spot. And all of the data is pushing back in with you guys. Like that's
absolutely
awesome.
Absolutely. The other cool thing about this, Ryan, is we've got custom reporting, because we've got so much of the data here, it's not strung out between, several integrations and things like that. There's no redundant data entry, so it makes it really easy for the team, but we can also build all kinds of custom reports. So just about any kind of data point you can imagine can be built into a custom report. So if you want to see AR broken down by sales rep and you want that report sent to you every Monday morning at 7 a.m. before you walk into a meeting, you can have that report built and set to send to you at that time. And it just shows up in your inbox, and your employees are going to think you're magic and that you've got, all the numbers right there in front of you all the time.
And I mean, as a business owner myself, like those numbers are so critical, right?
Oh,
like there's a lot of decision making, coaching, managing that has to go on from those numbers. So to have that data is really, really important with that stuff. So that's
absolutely.
Awesome.
That's really all I want to share today. I think, we'll probably have some folks that want to look at this a little bit deeper. There's so much more going on both ends of this. I learned a lot about SumoQuote today that I didn't know. And so I'm excited about that. And I'm sure, there's some folks out there watching that are, want to learn a little bit more about what we do. And so, we'd love an opportunity to sit through and do a proper demo and really show them what we can do.
Well, absolutely. Well, let's do two things here. All right. So the first is I'm going to share my screen because I know we've got a handful of questions coming in here and I want to get to those. So, but let me share my screen here quickly. And just for people, like we want to be able to make it easy for you to learn about each other's companies and stuff like that here with SumoQuote ROOFLINK. So if you want to learn more on either one of these or both of these, hit the QR code here and feel free to dive in. And I know there's both teams are kind of ready to go and make sure that we're answering questions and helping get the integration built out and stuff like that with you guys. So I'm going to leave this here for, another 30, 45 seconds or whatever, but I want to start diving into some of the questions. And as people have questions, throw them right into the chat here. I know there's a questions area as well. And that one of the people on our side, my good buddy Joel, is squirming a little bit that I didn't tell you to put it into the questions, but feel free to throw it into the chat and we're going to be watching this stuff. One of the ones that came in there was just on getting a good, better, best quote built. And is it done in ROOFLINK or SumoQuote? Like when those numbers are coming in, how are those numbers coming in and being applied? So I want to make sure that we cover that here right now. So let me go over here. I can always pop that up again at the end. But in SumoQuote, we've got something. We've got something called a default layout. So here's my different layouts, and so here I can have all of my different. So here's my retail roofing, my contingency agreement, my insurance contract, commercial, whatever it is. What we are applying our default layout. So each account will have a default layout. And that's what the measurements get applied into. So if I go into my default here, what I do is I build this out. I don't put a customer's house on it because that's going to be custom coming in each time. But I go into my quote details and I build out my good, better, best here. And I get all of this structured as though it was a quote, but without the quantities and everything. So once I've built it out as my base, then the quantities, the cover page, the inspection photos, all of those just get added into it. So your good, better, best, you come into your account settings, you go to your default layout, you build out your good, better, best, your standard go-to presentation there, and then everything goes in. So that is where you would build out your good, better, best there. Brian, are the PDFs that Ryan shared available in SumoQuote? Yes, Brian. Let me show you this because this is something that we launched. We've given a little bit of communication out there, but we haven't done tons yet. So sorry, I should have slowed down. If you'll note, I went to my name and I went to tutorials and support here. Okay, so once you click on that, it's going to open up this page. Now, something that not all of our accounts know, we've basically assigned, we've got in-house, we've got customer success managers, and they, each account, so your business will have a dedicated customer success manager. They're basically like your personal concierge. Anything you need, they're your go-to person with SumoQuote. So you can have one dedicated person to serve any questions you've got, setup you've got, stuff like that. They're your go-to person. If you don't know who they are, all you need to do is just email support@SumoQuote here, and we will make sure we get you in touch. Okay, but as far as self-serving, let's go through here. Custom pages. So these are custom pages that we're building. Customer Canva pages. So we've got all the different brands here, so you can customize all sorts of things in here, but I'm going to go to my general custom pages. It's going to open up, and this is all done in Canva, which is a very easy to use tool. And if you click here, we'll give you a little bit of light training even on Canva. But as I go down in here, maybe it's this one, this referral program. So all I need to do is click on this, open the link. I say, yes, I want to use this template. I already have a Canva account, so it's going to take me straight into Canva. Otherwise, you can just add a free, this is all free. And in here, it's very easy to use. So I go to my logo, I delete that. You can just drag and drop your logo, the file on here, and it'll automatically add. I've already done that. So I'm going to hit my Sumo exteriors here. And before I resize that, I'm going to change this to white. So all this stuff is just very straightforward and easy to use. Once you'll want to spend just a little bit of time learning it, but once you learn it, it's fast. And the beautiful part is like the logo there. If I click on my color here, you can see my logo is in here and it's already pulling the colors out of it. So to color match it, I just need to click on the color that I want here. Same thing here. So you can see like there's a little bit just in understanding it, but between the different manufacturers' brands and the custom ones that we have with SumoQuote, we've got over 60 pre-built marketing pages ready to go. And then you can just come in here and say, you know what, I don't want it to be 200, I want it to be 400, and I don't want it to be for a job over $2,500. I want it to be $5,000. You know, I expect them to sign off on a little bit more, like very easy to tweak and customize here. So hopefully that is very, very helpful for people to see because it's a massive value add that we've got. Let me keep going over here. Liz, is there a way to calculate the materials and cost of bundles, but present in squares? So yes. You would, but present in squares. I would say this, Liz. I would say I'm going to go in here, and because this one's been signed, let's say the homeowner said, scrap that one I signed. I actually want to add the garage as well. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go duplicate report. And then on my title page, I'm just going to call this my revised quote instead. But to answer your question, Liz, I think you're probably going to want to calculate by bundle. Like whatever is calculated here is going to pull into ROOFLINK. And so you're probably going to want to run your calculations by bundle. You don't need to show that to the homeowner though. So if I go up here to my page settings, you can see I'm hiding my quantity, my unit price, my line total. I can hide my section total here. So let's say I want to show my quantity and my unit price and my line total, and I hit save on this. So if I go view page on this now you can see I'm showing everything in here, right? If I come back here and I go page settings and I toggle that stuff off and I say, I just want to show my section total, I hit save on this. Now when I go view page, now you can see I'm hiding all that stuff. And when I go onto my second page, my better page here, you can see I'm showing a section total here for these additional items. So you'll probably want to, if you're going to want to pull in everything, all the quantities for your material list, you're probably going to want to quote it by line item. You can quote it in SumoQuote by square if you wanted to, but you're not going to get all of those line items automatically calculated here. So that would be just how you might want to set that up. Hopefully that answers your questions for you, or your question for you. Dakota, when using Sumo Estimate and RoofLink, does it still populate work orders and material orders in RoofLink? Kevin, how would somebody, once they pulled all of that information in, how are we going to get?
Let's see. Why don't you go into your RoofLink there, Ryan? We can probably show them really quick.
Yeah.
Click orders.
Okay.
Right over to the right of estimate there. Click orders. There you go. Now you just click material order from drawing. And pick the template. So it's still going to pull that in for you. And then select your supplier. Boom. Done and done. And then same thing for the work order. So it's based on what options they chose on that good, better, best. You can go then pull that template in here and still have your material orders and work orders.
Perfect.
Pretty cool.
Perfect. Absolutely.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Adam's got a question here. To Liz, homeowners and insurance companies want to see linear foot squares, square foot. Suppliers want to see orders and bundles. If this is the presentation piece, we'd like to show the line item breakdown with measurements, but not line item pricing. So Adam, I'm going to pop, I think this is what you're asking. If I'm in SumoQuote page settings, I might go show quantity, but not show the unit price or the line total, right? So then I can go view page on this. And if you needed to, for insurance purposes, pull in the quantities on these things, you can show the quantities and you can show, like, depending on the information that you want to show or not to it. So yeah, all that stuff can be customized and set up in your layout ahead of time. So it automatically defaults to however you want that to be. So, Adam, so if we keep the linear feet and squares, will the template still put in bundles pieces? So, and yeah, I appreciate that, Adam. I think that hit it. If in SumoQuote, like I've got this set up currently right now to calculate per bundle, but you could have this just as easily calculate per square. You see here where I'm dividing by 33 to get it from a per square down to a per bundle, from a per square foot down to a per bundle, 33 square feet per bundle. You would just go divide it by 100 instead. So, and again, this is where your customer success manager can do all these subtle tweaks with you to make sure it's calculating exactly how you want it. So whether you want it to present per square here or per bundle, within this calculation is where you would adjust it, and it would just be divided by 100 rather than 33. So hopefully that hits it for you there. By the way, one of the things, you guys, for people that are using SumoQuote right now, we've got a direct integration with Beacon. We don't have one with SRS or ABC. Kevin, who are you guys integrated with from a distributor perspective there?
We allow our contractors to still control their pricing. Feedback has been that that's been a little bit easier for them than when prices update. If it doesn't update to their you know, negotiated pricing and things like that, and it's not right, then you have to go and try to fight and, you know, and audit your bills and fight to get some of your money back if they've overcharged you. So we've made it really, really easy in RoofLink to update your own pricing. We are looking into it, the technology, and hoping that we can soon have it to where it'll update to your account and your negotiated pricing. It's just not there yet.
Nice. Yeah. And the great thing is you can have those different suppliers in there and have, you know, a custom pricing for each of them that you've put in there.
Right.
Yeah, the one that we've done on the SumoQuote side is with Beacon. So with SumoQuote, we would have the live material pricing with Beacon, but not the others. But in RoofLink, the nice thing is you can have those different price lists set up. Just keep those price lists up to date.
Yeah, and you can compare pricing apples to apples on every single job. So we've got contractors that are saving quite a bit, you know, by just finding some hidden upcharges between one supplier and another.
Yeah, awesome. It looked like Tony made a comment here, but I didn't catch. It looks like it's in a different language here. I'm assuming everybody saw it in the same way. I just I wasn't able to read it there, but Val appreciated it. So just wanting to make sure that we've got all of we're right at the top of the hour here. So wanting to make sure we've got all of the questions answered. And yeah, then we can get everybody out there busy and on their way and signing up for RoofLink and SumoQuote and getting it all integrated and ready to go.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Kevin, was there anything, as I'm waiting, I see Adam's typing, but was there anything kind of at the end here that you were looking to touch on still?
You know, it's hard to show everything we can do, and I'm sure it's hard to show everything you guys can do in an hour like this. So I suggest signing up for a demo. Let's walk through it. Let's see if it's a good fit for your business, and let's see if we can't streamline and make things really, really efficient for you.
Absolutely. Well, I will, to send us off here, I'm going to go right back over here again, and we'll leave it here to finish off. But really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Pumped on this, Kevin. Like,
thank you
guys
so much.
Have built something great with SumoQuote here, so we're really excited about it. Yeah, like this is something that will make it way easier. And again, this is our deepest integration that we've been able to put together with somebody with the CRM. So yeah, thanks for all the hard work you guys put into
Ryan,
this.
you're first class, man. Your whole organization is first class. So we're proud to be a part of it, and we're looking forward to big things, man, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, likewise. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you all tuning in. I believe a recording will be going out as well, but feel free to hit these links, grab some demos out there, and man, this will just make life so much easier. And again, to touch on it at the end here, customer experience, like our two products together, we really want you to be able to have that phenomenal customer experience and grow your business. So that's it. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Reset.